our own oil, which puts us in the position of having to deal with Middle East tyrants and dictators.
Well, you know, on that note, I want to bring in a panel here a little bit. Beau, you've heard from both gentlemen, and I love the passion from both sides because it's hard to argue with either one.
I totally agree with us doing our own recovery of oil here and around the United States. And whatever we have to do technology-wise, we're developing the technology we should not be dependent on. With that said, King of Saudi Arabia mentioned within 30 days they could pick up the productivity that we would lose out of Omar Gaddafi's area, whatever his name is.
Yeah. But what about if Saudi Arabia went down? Who's going to pick up that?
Well, he just gave $30 billion to his people to quiet them down.
Yeah, and you know what? That's not going to work. It's absolutely not going to work because they missed the point. It's another monarchy setting itself up. I think Bahrain's next. And I think if Bahrain falls, Saudi Arabia is very nervous. Yes, they can continue to throw cash at the people, but ultimately it comes down to political freedom and representation, something they don't get because protests and political parties are banned as it stands right now in Saudi Arabia. That's the bigger issue. And this momentum continues to gain ground.
And John, I want to go back to you because do you believe that perhaps this could be the ultimate wake-up call? For instance, this green agenda, in my mind, is not only going to make our cost of living go up, but it's going to make us significantly less competitive as a nation.
Well, let's say first, the $36 billion the Saudis are giving away, whose money is it? It's our money. We're paying for it by buying oil, for Pete's sake.
Yep.
But, yeah, hey, green is good. There's nothing wrong with green, but it's not enough. It's just not enough.
But John, I want to ask you, green is good, but can you substitute fossil fuels right now and force feed green on our country and in the process make it more expensive to drive your car?
Absolutely not. It is ruthlessness to force green on a system that can't yet use it. We have 250 million cars on the road only use gasoline or diesel. You can't put wind power or solar power in a car and make it go. We need a plan that takes time to implement. It's going to take decades. In the meantime, we shouldn't be shutting down the Gulf of Mexico. We need oil every day.
Garland,
it's stupid and naive.
Garland, why is the left so insistent that we're going to force feed green in a country? I mean, listen, China has cut deals around the world to suck up all the energy supplies for the next 25 years. Do you think the left will ever look beyond their ideology and see that our plan is economically a time bomb?
Oh, I don't know if you've been checking the weather around New York City lately, but it's not just money. There's bigger reasons than just money here, and I think we have to reduce our dependence on, get rid of the word foreign, oil.
Yeah, I agree with that, but when you got all these oil wells in the Gulf that are capped now because our president says they can't open them up unless they're so safe and all that, we got a real problem. You have these other areas, this Ankara area up here near the Canadian border. We got other ways of getting that oil. We've got to get our heads together.
I got to bring Scott. I only have 30 seconds. Handicap, where do you think this could possibly go from here?
Well, it depends on, again, how strong the resistance is. But Gaddafi has demonstrated that he is willing to put down use any amount of force, and he is brutal. If he softens up, if he loses heart, the resistance wins. If he keeps up what he's doing now, it could not have a very good ending. And even if he dies a martyr as he wants to, it could be trouble in the Middle East, create more instability there.
Okay. I got to tell you guys, I'm leaving the show. I'm driving a car with fossil fuels, and I'm going to a house heated by fossil fuels.
And Charles, we got to stay out. Charles, we got to stay out of it. We got to keep our mouths shut, Charles.
Okay. Thanks a lot to Scott Wheeler and John Hoffmeister.